Hey everybody, A-Rod here from the Oak Ridge Studio, and if you're like me, one of the most consistent gigs you do as a musician is leading music at a church on a weekly basis. Now, I assume you're here because you saw the title of this video and clicked on it. And if you just want the raw tips, go ahead and use the timeline of this video to skip ahead just to the tips you need. But if you don't mind a little bit of preamble, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and keep on listening. Now the setup that I use, which you can see behind me, helps me accomplish a lot of things. 1, I play the drums. 2, I sing. 3, I trigger tracks in Ableton Live, as well as loops and samples. To do all of that, I have been using my Nectar Pacer foot pedal, which you can see down here to my left. Now the Nectar Pacer foot pedal is an excellent tool. It's almost infinitely customizable, hugely functional, and pretty intuitive. But as you can see, there's one drawback to it, which is that it's huge, and it actually doesn't fit very well in my setup. Like, it's kind of sideways in the way that it sits, which means as I'm playing the drums, I have to kind of hit it with my feet, which takes a lot of looking down. So it does everything I need it to do, but it's a little bit unwieldy in how it does it. So you can imagine my excitement when somebody gifted me the Alesis Samplepad Pro. Now, I was very excited until I found out one key detail about the Samplepad Pro, which is that it does not send MIDI CC messages, it only sends MIDI notes. And if you know about Ableton Live, you know that several of the key functions, including play and stop, have to be accomplished with MIDI CC messaging. Now, there's a lot of ways to do this in Ableton Live. Usually, though, it takes a third-party plugin or something like that. Some examples would be Bohm's MIDI translator. The Ableton drummer has a very nice little MIDI converter package. Now, I love these tools, and they're all very reasonably priced for what they do. But for me, because I lead music at a very small church, most of the stuff that I'm doing comes right out of my pocket, most of the tech things that I do. And so what I wanted to do is, knowing the power of Ableton, I wanted to know, is there a solution to this problem that is absolutely free? And I'm happy to tell you there is. I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so we're sitting over here at my kit, and before I get into the details about what's happening in Ableton Live, I want to show you the functionality that I have here on the Alesis Samplepad. Okay, so the biggest thing is I've got next locator, global play, global stop, a session view. I now have a scene I can play here, which is just a verse section of a song, a chorus section that I can play there. I've got fade out, and I've got a fade in. I can come back in. I also have stop clips, and then of course global stop and global play. Those are the two big ones really that take CC messages. Everything else kind of takes MIDI notes. Okay, so we're in Ableton now, and the first thing we're going to do is just open up a basic project. You can get rid of that audio track. We don't really need it. We just need a MIDI track. Now, the magic happens down here. First of all, just make sure that your in is whatever channel, MIDI channel, your Alesis Samplepad is sending on. This is the magic right here. For your outs, you need it to be sending to MIDI to your IAC driver. Your IAC driver is like a virtual driver that allows you to do a lot of different things with MIDI inside Ableton. Very handy tool, so I recommend you set that up. You can use it for a lot of different things. Now, if you have questions about how to set up your IAC driver, I recommend the video by From Studio to Stage. That's the one that I use to set up my IAC driver. Very concise, very good information. Okay, so once you've set up your IAC driver, the next thing to do is go and set up 2 dummy MIDI clips, which you can just do by double-clicking on any MIDI clip there. We're going to go down here to the left-hand side to the clip editor window. You've got the MIDI control, but what you want to do is go over here to where it says pitch bend, open up that drop-down menu, choose any undefined value. In this case, I'm going to choose 20. Now we go to the top right corner and we click on our MIDI control editor, and you can see all the things that we can now control with MIDI turn blue. So what we do then is we click on our clip, we whack the pad that we want to assign, and you can see now it's sending that note. Then we click on the parameter, the MIDI CC parameter we want to control, and whack the pad again. And you can now see that the MIDI note is controlling the MIDI CC parameter. We do the same thing for the second one, in this case stop. And now we have control with those two pads of our MIDI CC parameters. Now, if you want, just go in, give it a name, this channel, give this channel a name, make it pretty, and save it in your user library. You can save it directly in your user library, or you can add it to a folder so that you can then just drag it onto projects in the future and it's already set up for you. And that's it. Very simple to do. Some of you are more advanced on this kind of stuff, and this was very easy. I just know it's something I've been looking for a long time and never was able to find. So if this helps you, again, like, subscribe to the channel, and watch for more content. Thank you. Bye-bye.